Messi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just when you think he's done everything, he comes up with something even more special. Nani.
Hello and welcome to Soccer Card Collective episode number 21. I'm back. It is Saucy with the great man, Vincent, aka Cardhour. How are you, sir?
Very fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And happy Easter to those who that are celebrating today. So we'll just throw that out there, get that out of the way nice and early. It's good to be back. Another episode of Soccer Card Collective. It's been a few weeks. We did try to tee one up last week, Vincent, but plans fell through. Trying to get on here and do a few more of these, especially the run-in to the juicy part of the season where Champions League, obviously we're up to the semi-final stage. The Premier League is getting very, very close. We had a belting match between the top two teams just last week. And the Serie A, well, let me just tell you that it's toss of the coin who could win that in the run into the season. So we'll have a bit of a look at that closer to we'll look at the ladder a bit closer in a second. But Global is in the chat. Always appreciate you jumping in, mate. It is a public holiday tomorrow, so hopefully we get a few people in here on the live, ask a few questions and see how we go. But without further ado, Vincent, we will jump into one of the leagues. I'll start off with Serie A. We'll finish off with Champions League. I'll bring up the ladder so we can have a look. All right. So, as you can see, we've got Milan on 71 points, Inter Milan 69 points, Napoli 66 points, and I think that will be out of those three teams. I'm not sure if Juventus can get back up there. I think it's a bit too much to ask, being 8 points from the top. But you never know what can happen. I just don't think that Milan or Inter Milan will fumble that much. Napoli's still in the race, most definitely. And yeah, there might be a bit of trouble for Juventus, maybe losing that fourth spot and maybe dropping out of Champions League. I don't know. That should probably be their priority. Get back. They were looking a bit dangerous or a bit worrisome throughout the season to maybe not even finish in the top four, but they have pulled it together on the run home. What are your thoughts on the Serie A and what have you seen lately, Vincent?
I don't see Juventus coming back. I mean, if you look at their schedule, away at Sassuolo, they still have to go to. They still play Lazio. They still play at Fiorentina. Looking at how they've struggled this season, I don't see them all of a sudden turning around against teams who are in form. So yeah, it's interesting. AC, Inter, even Napoli. I don't know. It's such an up and down team. They lose these random games. I think they lost 1-0 to AC Milan, which isn't random teams. But then they lost 2-3 against Fiorentina. I've watched some Fiorentina games, and I always think they're so inconsistent. They've been consistent right now for the last couple of games, but I've watched some of their games, and I always felt like they could lose at any second. It's I don't know.
Yeah, they did get some players back, Napoli, and they have looked a little bit better. But as you said, a game like that against Fiorentina at home, losing 3-2.
2-3. Yeah.
It's that's the sort of game where you got to get a result. I understand Fiorentina is probably one of the better sides in the league, but at home, and Osimhen back and big guns back. You had Insigne in there as well playing. So, you had enough firepower, but, giving up 3 goals, that's definitely not a good look. And they do have a bit of a tough run here. Empoli looks like an easy fixture, but have troubled some teams, even though they're, not sitting at the best spot in the table. Roma, obviously going to be a tough fixture. Torino at home's never an easy fixture, but expect goals in that game. And then Sassuolo, I think they should be able to get the job done there. But, once again, Sassuolo has proven at times to give some teams some trouble, although it is away from home. But, it's not the easiest fixture on the run in. Now, we have a look at Inter Milan, their fixture on the run home. They've got a big match, their next match, which is against Milan. So I was going to have a look at their fixture next. So this could be the match Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's Wednesday here in Australia at 5 a.m. It's probably a bit more of a pleasant time for yourself over in Belgium instead of 5 a.m. But that's a massive match. And then, it doesn't get easier for them. They've got Roma and then Bologna away, Udinese away. And then, a couple of easier games towards the end of the season. But, if they don't get results in these next 4 games, do Inter Milan, it could say goodbye to that chance.
Yeah.
To be honest, look, credit where credit is due, though. For them to be in the title hunt after they had lost a whole bunch of players in the off season due to money issues within the club. Good. It just shows that they've got good coaching, good, obviously good talent scouting to still be in there at this part of the season. And credit where credit is due. It's not like Milan has run away with it, but they are on 71 points, only 2 points ahead. We'll have a look at their fixture on the run home as well. Any thoughts on Inter? Do you think they've got enough firepower to get the job done? Milan hasn't shown that sometimes they are not really clinical, but they still haven't lost a game in how many? It's just they've drawn and take some results that they may have should have probably won. This one against Torino probably got to I understand it's a 0-0 draw, but find a way to get a goal there and just pinch the win. Something you got to do, trying to win the title.
Yeah, I think round 34 is going to be a huge one as Inter plays Roma and then Lazio plays AC. I think that's going to be a huge one.
This is not an easy game. Fiorentina against Fiorentina, I understand it's at home, but they've just beat Napoli away, so always a chance. And then Atalanta, they're always dangerous.
they've got
brutal
their schedule, man. Jesus.
Their guys up the top there, Zapata. You got Melanovsky. He's an absolute wizard in central midfield. So, they got their guns in there. It's going to be a tough game. You'd expect them to beat Verona. And then Sassuolo at home this season have given teams trouble. So don't
Sassuolo, great team.
There. Yeah.
Brutal schedule.
One man in there, Scamacca, he's on the on the scouts. So that was one given on this show. So just shout out to obviously Dan Azuro _cards. He gave Scamacca a long time ago, and words are from the man himself, Mr. Fabrizio, that being scouted by the Premier League Cubs and also other teams higher up, in the pecking ranks in Italy as well.
Nice. Always nice to see.
Yep.
It's always a shame, though, that if a team runs, that the team falls apart next season because people are just getting bought left, right, and center. It's painful to watch, but that's how it
not
works.
Not too bad. Just a mid-table 9th. Yeah, it's pretty good for a club like that. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, we will have a look at the Premier League. We're not going to go at maybe La Liga as well, because I think it's still up for grabs. So we'll have a quick look at that. The table here, Prem, Man City, Liverpool. We had that game. There was a 2-2 draw. There's 1 point between the two. That's all it's between. And then you've got the absolute dogfight for 4th spot. I think Chelsea's probably most likely locked in a spot. I don't see you guys dropping out of there.
No.
But that dogfight for 4th spot where Arsenal still has a game in hand on Tottenham and Manchester United, but they're not doing themselves any favors. Two shocking results over the last 2, which has been Yeah, not good at all. Man United, Ronaldo. Did you catch that hat trick by Ronaldo?
I hope you didn't bring that up, but yeah, I watched. I saw the goals. Glad he's still able to do it against Norwich. Where is Norwich on the table? I don't see them. I don't see him on the. There we are.
Yeah.
Glad to see him score a hat trick against him. So you can still do it.
I mean, you credit where credit is due. It was not
Well,
like they were scrub goals. Like that header that he won at the at the front post. This guy's 37 and he's out jumping everyone there that is younger than
Yeah.
him, right? And getting on time. And then that free kick, even though it's like 1 in 100 that he scores. I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So bit of credit.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, it was.
But it's gonna
It
be
was good to see.
It's I think Arsenal, as it stands, they lost 4 of the last 5 games. I don't know
I'll
what's
have a look
happening.
at
They're
the fixture.
crumbling down. I'm not sure.
Look, they've got a lot of injuries. For my
Yeah.
boys. Not having Lacazette there, relying on Nketiah is not really. He's not really good
Yeah.
enough. Let's
No.
be honest. And then not having Partey in the middle has affected us immensely. Even though Conga is okay there, but young
He's
guy,
still young.
probably
Yeah.
he just gets stuck on the ball a bit too much. Doesn't play the ball fast enough.
Yeah.
And not for anything. We've just lacked ideas going forward. And I think that just has to do with the chemistry with the players that are being now forced to play together through the injuries that we've copped. It doesn't get any easier for us, does it? We come up against your blocks, Chelsea. I think this could be a way. This year. I just hope that we're going to have to defend. We're going to have to give up possession and try to hit you blokes on the counter. And hopefully we can get a result. Getting a draw would be good, but it's hard, tough schedule. Chelsea, Manchester United, two massive games. West Ham, that's not an easy game. Leeds are in absolutely cracking form, so that's no gimme. Leeds have sacked the coach, and the new coach has come in. They're found flames underneath their belly, and they're just on fire at the moment. And then you got Tottenham. Newcastle in great form, and then Everton. Obviously. No easy beats, but they have been pretty easy this season. But, you'd want to hope by the last game of the season, you've already sewed it up, especially you've got the extra game in hand that you've sewed up that 4th spot. So, look, I'm not confident, Vincent. I am not confident at all. I'm not confident.
Yeah, I mean, you need at least 10, 12, 13 points maybe from those games. And the schedule, I mean, as you said, it's brutal. It's even more brutal on AC Milan. Let's be honest. Like,
It's a tough schedule.
It's gonna be interesting.
All right. So we've got Liverpool here. We'll go to the top 2 teams. Liverpool second on the ladder. Tough game against United. The next one, Everton, expect them to get the job done there. But once again, need to take into account, obviously, big game against Villarreal in the Champions League. So that's a 3-day break between Everton. And then they've got, 2-day turnaround. And they verse Newcastle. How's that?
That's
2 days.
The schedule. Jesus. Maybe that gets cancelled, no?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, that's what they got there. 2 days. How can you have 3 days? Surely you need to have 3 days break. So I don't know what they do there. Do they cancel that game? I'm not sure. Then they go up against Villarreal in, I think that's about a 5-day break. And then they've got Tottenham. That's not an easy schedule. They've also still in the FA Cup, where they got to verse either Chelsea or Crystal Palace. So there's another fixture in there for them where, Klopp has been playing a bit more of the second squad. Just goes to show, he's pretty much played a lot of the second squad throughout the FA Cup, and they've still made it to the final.
You have to.
Just goes to show how good the depth in that squad is. It's just amazing. And then Southampton, you expect them to beat them, but will they still be in the title race? We don't know. Let's have a look at Manchester City's fixture. One thing is there is, obviously they still are in the Champions League. So both these teams have to dealing with the extra fixtures. They've got Man City against Brighton, should be a win. Watford. Then they've got the big game against Real Madrid on a 3-day break after Watford. And then they have a game against Leeds. So that could be a tough game. The game against Leeds. Another game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Newcastle, you expect them to win. And then West Ham, maybe there's a bit of a tough game there. And then a game against Aston Villa. So the run home, in my opinion, for Manchester City does seem easier.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. It seems like they have the easier schedule, but then again, they play Champions League against Real Madrid. I'm not taking anything away from Villarreal, but
De Bruyne injured in the last game, and another player I was just lost it.
Walker.
Yes, correct. That's right, Kyle Walker. So, be interesting to see how they deal with that, how severe those injuries are. You know, I mean, you'd want to have them back at least by this, no later than the second leg of the Champions League. Surely, that's 5th of May. Yeah. That's a solid 2 weeks away.
2 weeks,
2.5 weeks. Maybe you can miss him for the first leg for the home leg, but you want those, your best guys out there for the second leg.
Yeah. For sure.
In Madrid.
For sure. Oh, can't wait for that one.
It's gonna be a cracking end to the season in the Prem. That is for sure. All right, we will have a look quickly at La Liga. We'll breeze over it. Ligue 1, there's no point there. Bundesliga, there is no point there. They have both been sewn up, PSG and Bayern Munich, respectively. Real Madrid, 72 points. I think this one's sewn up. I probably didn't need to come here and check it. But you do have maybe Atletico Madrid potentially being pushed into Europa League.
I hope so. Yeah, I really hope so.
And I think after their last antics that we've seen, I don't think anyone would be upset in them being out of the Champions League next season. Very boring game to watch. Was pretty funny. We will skip over to Champions League now, and we will talk about the last games that went by. And we will start with that game, which was the 0-0 draw at Manchester at Atletico Madrid, where Manchester City did a Atletico themselves and parked the bus, made it difficult, time wasted, Phil Foden rolling on the ground and around and getting dragged and then kicking off in the tunnel afterwards. I think. What are your thoughts on that sort of antics? At the end of the day, a game of football.
I just counted between minute 85 and the end of the game. There were like 8 or 9 cards. It's like I saw the entire game, and it was like I couldn't believe that City was doing this to Atletico, because it was like perfect. As you said, Foden was taking the piss every single time he could. And it's frustrating because Atletico has to come, then it doesn't work out, and they get frustrated. You just know that's gonna happen to Atletico. I just loved every single minute of it. They just did them dirty, really. But I was so glad to see them kicked out just because of that. It's not a team you like to watch. It's like they're good in their own way. Like they do it. Whatever they do it perfectly, but then they always get caught out. They never get away with it. They don't win the Champions League, and I think that's the most important thing, because that's not promoting football. I get it. It's not what people want to see, and it does work, whatever they do. But they're 4th in the league. They're not going to win the Champions League. I think it's not enjoyable to watch. It is entertaining, though. It was very entertaining. I mean, I always find it fascinating too that whenever these guys get a card, it's like they've done nothing wrong. Especially Felipe. Like, he was kicking players, he was pushing players, I don't know what he was doing, and then all of a sudden he's like, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Like, they were even trying to convince the referee it wasn't Felipe. I'm not sure. It was a total mess.
I think they forget that there's VAR and they can just go have a replay these days.
Yeah.
They can't outsmart him. That is a pretty crazy graphic when you have a look at the yellow cards.
Just look at it.
That is pretty crazy.
Oh my god, it was a mess.
Credit to
And they were,
the guy that bet the over cards in that game on the market.
I did.
There you go. Say credit to you. Bet the
And there
cards.
were
We knew.
so many cards that could have been drawn in the first half as well. But that's another whole debate about referees not trying to give cards too early into the game, especially in a game like this. But yeah, there were so many instances. Yeah, there were so many instances in the first half, even in the early second half, where you could just gave a yellow card. But I guess if he did that from the start, there were like 9 players left on each team. So yeah, good thing he didn't.
All right. Next game up is Bayern Munchen against Villarreal. What were your thoughts when you seen this? Because I look, I'll be honest with you, I was pretty cooked from the games just on ridiculous time, 5 a.m. for me. So like I'd watched the previous game from the night before, I was on like 3.5 hours sleep because I stayed up late, and then I realized that the games were on. I was like, all right, I'll go to sleep, I'll wake up, watch the games, and I had to stay up all day. And then I just didn't get a chance. But I woke up, I seen the score, I was like, what? Bayern Munich is out. I can't believe it. Villarreal, credit to them, credit to Unai Emery, and I'm sort of happy for him because look, I don't think it was probably unjustly fired from Arsenal. I don't think he had the worst game plan. I just think he probably needed another season to get other players in, but the club, didn't want to give him the time. Goes to Villarreal, has a good season with them in La Liga, and then obviously brings them to the semi-finals of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the stats because it's pretty crazy. 23 shots to 4. 23 shots to 4. 68% possession. Just absolutely crazy stuff. Here we go. Let's have a look here.
I think they had over 40 shots over the
580 passes to 290.
Yeah.
87% pass accuracy. 377 passes in the opposition half.
Yeah. And they couldn't convert. It was, I don't know. As you said, like they did an amazing job defensively, Villarreal. They had to, like, having 35% possession. The only thing you can do is counterattack. And they had 1 shot on goal, and they scored 1 goal. That's just
88th minute as well. That's
just... yeah, that was brutal. You just saw the faces on these guys, and it was like, oh no, like I still they lost the first game, as well, to a 1. I think it was 1-0, and I said they'll still come back. It's Bayern Munich. They'll do a Leipzig one, but no, yeah.
1-0 to an 8-minute goal where they held on for the rest of the game as well. And we can go have a look at the stats here as well. 22 shots, 62% possession. This is the first game. 563 passes, very much of the same pattern, mate. And it's just not good enough to break down that Spanish defense of Villarreal, which is, you know what? What I will say is, where was this defensive organisation for Arsenal, Mr. Emre, where teams pretty much played through us at will when we were coached by you. So I don't know, maybe he learned a lesson being at Arsenal, going maybe I am too much of an attacking coach. In the past, the teams he had prior to coming to Arsenal, PSG and some of these other teams where he had just crazy good attacking players and could maybe play that type of football. And get away with it, with those types of players, and not so much maybe with the likes of Arsenal and Villarreal. And obviously we've seen the results of Villarreal, which is just look, credit where credit is due, just amazing by them. We will move on.
I think it's crazy that they lost to the 7th place team in La Liga, who only won 13 out of the 32 games. So it's like, well, you can look at it both ways because they drew 10 times. So you can either say they only won 13 games, or you can also say they haven't lost 23. But yeah, as Bayern Munich team with this type of talent and these players,
you just have to show the difference in class in probably the Bundesliga and La Liga.
We're only talking about 2 games, obviously. But yeah, it's difficult to say.
But teams try to sit behind the ball like this on them every week in Bundesliga, and they kick 3-4 goals against them.
True. Yeah, maybe it shows that La Liga is more competitive, I would say. I don't know. It's difficult because we've seen a complete shift in teams as well. Real Madrid is staying the same, but those teams are gonna change massively over the next couple of years. You have getting older Benzema, Kroos, Modric. These guys are getting older, so they're gonna disappear as well, and they're gonna have a same kind of thing as Barcelona is having right now, where they're buying like more established players in Aubameyang, Depay, Traore, and they put young guys in there, like a Camavinga. No, I'm talking about different team.
Yeah, you got like your Pedri in there. You've got
Pedri, Gavi. You still have that young defender. So they're filling up spaces, or they're trying to make it work, and that's exactly what Real Madrid is going to have in the next couple of years as well. They've been talking about Mbappe, Haaland, all of that kind of stuff. So, it's gonna. I don't know. It's a good question though. It's a very good question. Does this mean that La Liga is maybe more competitive than the Bundesliga? Maybe, yeah, maybe, because if you look at the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich is 1, and then you have Dortmund, who is very up and down, and then Liverpool is a 3rd team, who are already 11 points behind. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, Liverpool, Benfica. Won't touch too much on this. I think just Liverpool had too much class for them. Credit to Benfica to get a 3-3 draw. In the game in the end, and they were down 3-1. They could have pretty much just packed up the bus and decided to go back to Portugal if they wanted to, but they decided to fight. Ended up losing 6-4 on aggregate. It was probably done in the first leg, let's be honest.
Still a good result for Benfica. 6-4?
Yeah, it's good.
Scoring 4 goals against Liverpool?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Weren't the full teams, but still. 6-4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they had any young talent on display, Benfica, but they're one of the teams where if you play well and they are a pretty freaking name in the Champions League.
That
might
Nunes,
have some young talent on there.
That Nunes, I think that's more of the more exciting
age
guys.
22.
Yeah,
there you go. Age 22, Nunes. So these are the sort of you as you watch Champions League and maybe even watching Europa League, these are the teams that are finishing in the higher up on the ladder on some other leagues. You might catch younger guys that catch your Erling Haalands before they make the big move to a German club, or see this
Look
guy
at his stats.
Nunes.
Look at his stats on the right.
Yeah, so 24 matches, 24 goals. He's what do we got here? Let's have a look in the Champions League. He's 10 matches in the Champions League last year and scored 6 goals. 10 matches this year, and scored 6 goals. Last year he played 1 match, but he's really burst onto the scene this season. That's really good stats. Let's not be honest. Let's be honest. Sorry, that's pretty good for a centre forward. 24 matches, 24 goals. You can't give much, but I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe has another decent season. He may be on the move, or maybe on the move after this, especially after banging in 6 in the Champions League. So yeah. These are the sort of things that you need to have a look through if you're looking at guys in regards to the card market. Go through, do your own research. Use a site like FotMob. It's got the player details in there. You can click on the player, go here, player profile. You can see, oh, here we go. Ramos, he's only 20 years old, out of Portugal. Can have a look at his stacks, where he's came from. He's played 25 games, 7 goals, 1 assist as a center attacking midfielder. So I probably want to see a little bit more, but it has come through the youth ranks, Benfica B onto Benfica, has played Portugal under 21. So you can have a look at these sort of things and look at these guys that may have potential to be in the next Topps Chrome Champions League set or Europa set. So, and pick up some of these guys cheap before they become big. because that's where you can really win big and prospect before maybe they blow out of proportion and end up having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for their cards. Real Madrid, Chelsea, your boys put up a fight.
Yeah.
They put up a fight, but you probably lost it in the first leg.
Yeah, we had to scramble back all the way. There was only one guy, Benzema, did his kind of dirty scoring. Well, I think 3 of his goals were all headers. They were all headers.
And let me tell you, they were good. They were, it's not like they were.
They were.
There was no cheap. I mean, obviously Mendy made the mistake and gave up the goal in the first leg. That was cheap. But then in terms of like the headers, they were just top class. I don't think any keeper in the world was going to stop some of those.
Then again, if you go, what was it, 3-1 up at Real Madrid, and you still concede goals, then it's we were 3-0 up, right. So we were 3-0 up, and then we gave away 2 goals. If you're 3-0 up and you have to fight for a Champions League, you cannot concede these goals.
This was my favorite goal.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you have like a touch of brilliance of this Modric guy, I'm not sure how he did it, but and then again Benzema again, a header from Vini Jr. assists. That I feel like this was the perfect ending for Real Madrid, like making them qualify. Like Vini Jr. assist to Benzema header. That was like the perfect
possession
scenario
at home, which is not something you see too often. You blokes had a lot of chances, 28 shots, 5 big chances, 4 big chances according to them missed. Fought mob, which generally they are pretty spot on the money. And you did have a lot of chances in that game. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, is it just something about that Spanish air in Madrid on a Wednesday evening? Like that's just a bit something different. You go there, it's just they find something. The home crowd gets behind them. Look, credit your ball club. You came out. I watched this game. You came out and you bossed them off the park. Let's not be beat around the bush. You had them on toast, and you went up. And I was gone. Sending out tweets, going, "Wow, what the hell am I watching? 3-0, they're losing. Real Madrid are losing 3-0 at home. Like, what am I watching?" And then I'll tell you what. It was one man. It was Modric. He just said, "No, this ain't happening tonight." And you could see he went and got on the ball more.
Yeah.
Passed the ball, got the ball moving left and right quicker, playing those intricate passes in the midfield. And then, when they needed the most, he put that outside of the foot ball on, right on a platter for Rodrigo. And he just said, "Go finish it, son," and put it in the back of the net.
He's been in so many situations like this where he just knows that moment will come, or he's able to force something. And that's the experience I was talking about. Like this guy, or like with Kroos, Benzema, and then Modric, they just know that it's going to happen, or that there will come an opportunity. And that's maybe something Chelsea doesn't really have. If you look, maybe Kante, but you have Loftus-Cheek doesn't have it. Mount still very young. Havertz, Werner, they've not been in these situations. So experience wins you games.
Look, you've already won one Champions League, so
sure. But I mean,
if
we're talking about a guy like Modric, he won 4.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll get to his cards a bit later on when we have a chat about it. But look, Real Madrid, they do just find another leg, and look, I said this, I wouldn't be surprised that they go on from now and actually win the whole thing. They just find ways to win Champions Leagues, and I don't see why this squad is not good enough. Why they cannot win? I don't know. I just think they have enough there to get the job done.
The only thing I worry about is Carvajal on the right for them. I think he was just bullied off the pitch when they played PSG. He was outrun, outpaced. He was outshined by everyone basically. So
he's getting old.
Yeah, I think
30 years old.
30 years old. I think that might
He's
be.
lost the pace. He's lost a bit of
Yeah,
step.
it didn't look. He came back from injury as well, if I'm not mistaken, back then. So it might be something to do with that, but he didn't look all that great. We do have a question. I'm not sure if you saw from Japan Sports Cards. There have been talk about Nunes replacing Haaland at Dortmund. Is that a move up?
Yeah,
I
it
would
is
say
probably
so.
move up. Yeah.
Um,
Be interesting to see how he goes. I mean, I'll tell you what, it'd be nothing better than to emphasize our point that the Bundesliga is not that much of a difficult league for him to just, take over Haaland's spot and then go in there next season, just bang in 20 goals in the season and just be like in that Dortmund team. It'd be pretty funny if that was the case. But yeah, that is a move up, Japan Sports Card. I would for sure think that. And, if you
I don't know.
were
Hard to say.
maybe getting his cards. I don't know. Maybe he might have a bit of attention on him. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what his rookie cards are. I'm guessing he must have something in the set, the Top Chrome set, because he was in Champions League, so it would make sense. All right, Vincent, that is enough rambling on with those. We do have obviously the next round of games, which I'll just have a look at quickly here. Matches. 36 minutes in, we don't want to go on. We probably want to keep this around, no longer than an hour, I would think. So we want to get on to the next part of the show. Have rambled on here a little bit, but always good to get on and have a chat. Manchester City, Real Madrid. What do we need to say more? Liverpool versus Villarreal. Your pick on them both. Who you think's going through to the final?
Damn. I think I'm tempted to say that Villarreal might chuck Liverpool, but that's just because I'm salty that they kicked out Bayern. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be an English final.
All English final. I'm going Real Madrid against Liverpool in the final. I think Real Madrid has enough to to beat City, and who knows how bad those injuries are. And they do have, they have to play every game with gusto because unlike Real Madrid, who are 12 points ahead, they can, afford to rest some players, certain games in the Spanish league. City cannot. They have to win every game if they want to do the double. So I just think that's going to play into it, and Real Madrid might have a bit fresher legs when it comes to it, and when these games go into extra time as well. So I think that's why they could get the job done. And yeah, as I said, Liverpool on the other side. Liverpool on the other side. All right, Vincent, without further ado, I did want to bring up, right, some of the older generation guys maybe not getting enough respect. And what, I wouldn't. There's not really. These aren't vintage guys. These are pretty. There's a lot of footage on these guys. It's not like we're picking out guys from the 1950s and it's all grey footage and so on. Like there's pretty ready highlights and I wouldn't be surprised if you could find full games and everything of these guys. So one that I wanted to bring up, which was this man right here. It's Luka Modric. It's the card on the right there. It's the 2018 Panini UEFA Euro Austria Switzerland. It's the acetate card. That's his rookie. And now I'm going to copy and paste that in here and see if I can get some more sales data.
Great looking card too. I love the shirt.
Yeah, so there's this one and there's one where it's like it's like a greeny sort of card. I'll see if I can find that one too. So there's been not too many sales of this. I'm sure there might be some more around. Let's see if I can just go like this.
Didn't even know that was his rookie.
Yeah, so I found this a while back. There's also like one where it's like it has a green border, but I just think this one looks cool because it's an acetate card. There's obviously and there's also this one. This is the other one that I wanted to show you. So there's this one as well, which is also from another set. So you can also go into that, and then there's the sticker. But let's just have a look. We'll go down and have a look. A PSA 9 of his rookie sticker sold for 68 USD.
Totally.
That was just on the March the 30th. That's 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
It's pretty crazy to think that a guy this good can be this cheap. Pop 3. It says here pop 3. I would have to double check that. I know there's not a lot of these graded. These acetate cards. PSA 8 only sold for 230. And then that other TCG playing. So that was like a TCG card where it was like, I think it's a bit like a match attacks one where it has like attack and defense thing, but it's on the back of the card. That's what makes this one really interesting. That it's actually on the back of the card. It's not on the front, so people don't actually know till you turn it around. SGC 9 only $135. Like you're not really going to find. It's going to be hard to find 9s and 10s of this sort of stuff. Because I'm telling you, back then in 2008, if people were ripping this, people were getting this guy and going, "Who the hell is he?" and like throwing it to the side. Because he was literally a nobody back then. They probably wouldn't even cared about him. So I just don't think there'll be a lot of them in good condition. And the acetate cards are like pretty easily scratched. So I did find one guy who had opened a box and he did, constant thing was with the acetate being scratching on there. So, I couldn't see how there would be, possibly too many high grade sort of ones. But here's a PSA 10 in that that TCG card that sold for just under $1,000 on March 14th.
Okay,
so not too bad. PSA 9 174. That was pretty recent as well, March 14th. And then you can go down. I think I own a 8.5 SGC sticker, and I think I bought it off like a PWCC weekly auction for like $40, 40 US.
It's insane. Right. Sorry to interrupt your thought, but just leave it like this. It says Luka Modric a PSA 10 2008, so it basically is rookie selling for 917, and then on the right there's like a kaboom, Luka Modric PSA 10 selling for what is it? 805, 605,
605. Yeah, just a kaboom.
Yeah, so I know it's a kaboom and it's nice. It's nice looking. It's a PSA 10, but the difference between what is it, 2008 and 2017? Yeah, it's crazy how these prices sometimes evolve or establish. I'm not sure. It's crazy.
Yeah, so this is just one that I was just having a look at. I just think he's everything of his, whatever you're looking at is so ridiculously underpriced. Even to the point of like, I think I bought an order of his for, I think cost me, we're talking US dollars here, $50. I think that's, all it cost me. And I was like, if I wanted to go get an auto, like I'd be interested. I'm interested to see like a second year auto of Pedri in this year's product, how much it's going to go for. Because I'm telling you right now, so I can understand rookie autos of these guys like Pedri and whatever, Camavinga being expensive. I can understand. I get it. It's their rookie auto, whatever, right? Like people go crazy for rookie stuff. But if their second year autos is like outselling a Luka Modric auto, this is where the hobby has lost the plot. You know what I mean? Like this guy's got a Ballon d'Or. He's 4-time Champions League champion. Like like when you think like now when you think the name Real Madrid, like you got to think Luka Modric. He's been there for so long, for 10 years more, and just played at the top unbelievably. Took his nation, who have never had a sniff at a World Cup ever, pretty much took him to the final. Yeah, it's just unbelievable the stuff this guy's accomplished, and just literally given zero respect by the hobby. Zero.
Let me just tell you what kind of player he is. So he was in 2018 World Footballer of the Year for Real Madrid, European Footballer of the Year, Real Madrid. He won the Ballon d'Or in 2018. 7 times Player of the Season. He won 4 Champions League, 2 times Spanish champion, Super Cup winner, Croatian champion. He was in the final of the World Cup. I mean, look at just that pass alone over the in the Champions League game. Just it's crazy that how much was he rookie? 600 in PSA 10. 800,
Well,
600.
there's no PSA 10s in that acetate card there was a PSA 10 in that TCG green that had the green border on it, and that was it's just sold for just under $1,000. There's not many PSA 10s. So, a PSA, as I said, a PSA 9 of that same card only sold for 100. And the total graded is very, very low. And then when you think about it, like, I mean, I am going to say this, like, I'm looking at Camavinga's prices, and, like, I mean, his stuff has dropped dramatically from where it was. I think the hype has people have calmed down a little bit on the Camavinga push when he got the big trade. But then on the flip side, there is a PSA 10 number to 2 refractor, number to 5, refractor here that did sell for. I'll show you guys. At a top stadium club, sold for $1,300. I do understand it's number to 5, but think about how many sets there are, and then think about how many number to 5 he probably has, and then add all those number to 5s together. That's probably, that number ends up at maybe 200 or something. Like, there's probably number to 5 of this color variant, and there's number to 5 of some other variant, and who knows how many there is. But
it's sometimes very hard to understand why people would spend this kind of money on a guy who has a lot of potential. It certainly has, but he played 32% of the minutes this season in La Liga, 24% Champions League. So obviously he's young. He's only 19. He has a contract until 2027. He played 3 games for France, so he's really up and coming. But yeah, 19. Wasn't Mbappe like 18 when he won the World Cup? So I know it's very hard to compare, and you cannot compare a midfielder to a forward and all of that stuff. But let's be honest. What does this guy have to do to be even worth this price now? Like, I don't know. This guy isn't even a starter. I know people placing their bets on his future, but how many more of these cards and sets and autographs and numbered cards are gonna get released in the next year, let alone the next 5 years, if he can stay at his at the top of his game? He's not even at the top of his game, obviously, but he needs to improve massively. That's one. And needs to stay relevant in his team as well. Like, if there's a new coach coming in and he wants to change his system and he doesn't fit in anymore, he's gone. He's on the bench. He will not play a lot. He might get an injury or two, putting him out for a couple of games. And that goes the same for this Pedri. I love Pedri. He's an amazing player. I think he's very special. I think he can become very special. But you're still talking about a guy who, how old is he? 18?
$1,500, number to 150, Topps Chrome Sapphire Aqua, PSA 10, $1,500.
Jesus. How old is he? This guy is 19 as well. So he's amazing. Whenever I watch him play, it's insane. But again, there's a lot of potential. He hasn't done anything yet. He's still in a Barcelona team that's rebuilding.
Yeah, look, where I'm coming from here is just like, I'm trying to sense what it is in the hobby, like that. Where's the disparity in what we're doing here and what we're collecting? Like, I understand. Like, I hope for Pedri he has a great career and he ends up being the player that everyone thinks he's going to be. But it's world football. It doesn't always happen like that. I think I brought up a guy I brought up a guy with Dom on the show just a few weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, you're a United supporter, Dom." And I said, "Do you remember Frederick Machado? Do you remember him? He actually won the Premier League for you one season, where he came on and kicked a goal. He was 17 years old at the time. 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the hysteria in the hobby. This guy comes on, 17 years old, kicks the winning goal to win United the Premier League title, right? and his cards come out. They drop cards of his in the next release. Like, people would be paying stupid amounts of money, and the bloke ended up having one of the most average careers of all time. And I'm not saying, I hope that doesn't happen to these guys, but I mean, he was at one of the best clubs in the world at the time. So, what's to say being at the best club in some of the best clubs in the world doesn't mean that you can turn out to be an average, okay footballer. Like, there's no guarantees in this game. And I just think that it's so crazy. The Pedri prices, the Camavinga prices, we bring up those two guys because they are central midfielders compared to Modric. Yeah, it's not like we're trying to compare a forward with it. We're comparing guys they're all central midfielders. So, to Modric, who's, as you read out his resume, it's freaking crazy. It's, for me, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And this is my sort of collecting is going, okay, he's actually, I know what he's done. Well, I don't know what they've done, but his stuff seems way too cheap for what he's accomplished. So to me, I'm going to buy them. And that's why I bought the stickers. I'm trying to get some of the acetate. I'm buying his autos. His autos are even silly cheap. The prices people are paying compared to, other guys that are coming out, even younger rookies now in the newer products, just crazy prices. I mean, some of the prices getting paid for, what's the young guy out of Southampton in the new Premier League release? I forget his name.
Smith Rowe? No, not Smith
No,
Rowe.
no. Southampton is Tino or something from Southampton. Some of the prices getting paid for his Prism cards is just bananas. And I don't even know if he's that good. He's a rookie for Southampton. That's all I know. I'm not sure if he's even that good. But yeah, I just think people need to hold their horses and just go back and have a look at some of the guys that have been around, done it, and have a look and see what their stuff is going for. All right. If you find the name, yell it out. I will bring up the second one, which I was having a look at, and people will know, but I'm going to bring them up on this show because this is a soccer card show in a sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll
find the name.
I see Ward Prowse, but that's not probably him. Adams, Armstrong, Caballero, Long, Redmond, Stevens. Not sure. He was not in the last game then.
All right. The second one I'm going to bring up. I showed you before that show. And that's the 2005 WCCF Benzema. There is the 2008 Euro sticker, which people consider that his rookie. But I consider this his rookie because this is like from a whole 3 years earlier, and it's actually a card. You know what I mean? We want to talk about the debate that, sort of Americans have with Europeans who, traditionally collect the stickers and view the sticker as the rookie. Now we got a lot of cards being manufactured. So how much are the stickers actually rookies? I think from now on, we're most likely going to be disregarding. They're not disregarding totally stickers. I don't think it's going to be a thing, but I think people are going to prefer to buy the cards. Now, in this case, this man does have a card, and it is well before his sticker, 3 years, in fact, and they're selling for $25 a pop raw, which is just crazy. When he's only got one rookie card, like this is the card. Like this, it's not like Camavinga. He hasn't got like 1,000 rookie cards. Sorry, or or other strikers that are coming up the ranks. There's one rookie card. So we'll have a look at his prices. Raw $25. A SGC 8.5, $135. 140. There's another SGC 8.5. SGC 5. So average condition $37. Just nearly about a raw. There was one here probably picked off on an auction for $7.75. No one was probably watching. SGC 7, $43. There's another one here picked up for $8. This is back in Feb 21st. So, pretty recent. There are a few lots of these on eBay. You could probably go out and have a watch. These are originate. So if anyone's not familiar with WCCF cards, can you fill them in, like where the origins of them? Vincent?
Sure, it's actually a game. I think it's in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. So how it works is you get cards and then you play the game, and depending on what kind of mode you play, so it's basically it's kind of similar to FIFA, I would say. You do these challenges, you play these games, and you get a reward. So if you win a game, you get a prize, and if you play a very difficult game, you get better prizes, and you're able to print these cards, as you said, because they're actually cards. You can print them, and they come out of this machine that you play on, and that's your reward. Now, obviously, these are from 2005, and most people that play this game use them as well. So the condition isn't always the greatest. I think I've bought like 7, 8, or 9 of these already. And even though you're looking at these pictures and all of that stuff, there's always stuff that comes up if you actually have it in hand, because people use them to play this game. And by now, there's a lot of people that actually put them in sleeves and stuff. But the thing is, they have a black border, so it's very easy to see. See,
I'll bring it
maybe
up.
not this. Yeah, maybe not this Benzema. But there are a lot of these WC. Yeah, there we have it. So on the back, it's actually full black. So if there is like anything wrong with the corners or the edges or whatever the case may be, you instantly see it. So grading these is extremely difficult, because everything that you can see or maybe gets hidden on other cards, it's very easy to see on these WCCF ones. So if you look at the back, the back is full black.
There it is. Yeah, look, you can
the
see
whitening
it, like
just comes. Yeah, it just comes through instantly. Also, whenever there's chipping or something on the back, it instantly shows. Now, also very important with these WCCF cards, you see on the back, you see 29 out of 336. That's actually when it's original. You also have copies or reprints of these WCCF cards, and then mostly on the front, it has like a big extra border. So there would be like an extra border between skill and these other things. So
so people have actually tried to counterfeit these.
No, not really counterfeit, just a reprint.
Okay.
It's just a reprint by WCCF themselves. It's like not fake. It's just a reprint from like 10 years or 20 or whatever, how many years. So you always try to look for these. Just one full front, and then the number on the left is also important. But again, these are super hard to find in good condition because people use them to play this game.
I mean, we'll just have a look at some PSA grade. I think I've looked up the pop report. There's only like 9 or 10 of these total graded.
Yeah.
It goes to show that probably people have looked at them and go, oh, I'm going for the 10. Like I send this in. Yeah. This is like a 6. You've got, there's no 10s. There's no 10s. PSA 10s. It's PSA 9 is the highest grade. PSA 8 sold April 13th for $200. PSA 9 sold on March 31st for $350. PSA 8 sold back in December last year for $85. So a bit of a price increase there. Obviously, Benzema has had an amazing season, so that's probably warranted with the prices. But I mean,
again,
we just bring
I
it
bought
up.
8 of them.
This guy's amazing. Yeah. This guy's amazing. What he's done, we've seen it in the Champions League. We've seen it throughout his career. He's won a lot of stuff. Potentially, France are looking prime and ready for the World Cups. He's going to play a major part in that as well. If he has a big tournament there, and France can get over the line and win the World Cup, and he can be a part of that. I mean, he's got to go down as one of the probably best strikers of the last 10 years, right?
I would say so. I mean, if he keeps performing like since Ronaldo left, I think that was a good thing for him. I mean, what more does he have to do? Like, he wasn't involved in the France team winning the World Cup, unfortunately, because I think that would have done great things to his card prices. But I mean, 3 times Footballer of the Year, 2 times top scorer, 4 times Champions League winner. He won the La Liga 3 times, French champion with Lyon. I mean, this guy keeps scoring goals. I don't know what to say. I think he's an amazing player. Whatever he did off the pitch is off the pitch. Obviously, it influences his card prices as well. Look at what happened to Greenwood. Look what happened to Rashford in the good way. So yeah, maybe that's something that will haunt him forever. Benzema, what happens? I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but what it does off the pitch also influences his prices. But if he ends up winning the World Cup now, I think these cards will fly. I'm not sure for how long, but I think if he can play a big role in this team, yeah, maybe that's a little sneak peek into the future when Mbappe goes to Real Madrid. Maybe, but yeah, we'll see. I talked about it before. France isn't an easy. How you say it? It's not. It's not. I wouldn't say that France is the big favorites for this tournament. So yeah, we'll see.
Do we think it's crazy that this card right here is still worth $500 in a PSA 10 copy? I'll bring it up. One second. Let me just bring it full screen before I bring it up. Do we think that's crazy? Do we think that's crazy when Benzema's WCCF in a PSA 9, which is the highest grade you can get, and we've just explained how ridiculously difficult they are to grade. Mind you, this is just a crappy Donruss paper. How
do we even dare to compare the King of Kings, the savior of the free world, the LeBron James of soccer, to Benzema? That's just ridiculous.
It's just crazy. Like, I mean, he doesn't even start for Chelsea, man. Like, he doesn't even start.
I know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Look, I don't know where like we know, like, with the American market, they obviously back their guys in.
Yeah,
but
sure.
ladies and gents, at some point you need to realize, card collecting, I get it. But Benzema, Gunn, Pulisic, he's a very, very good player. But not to the quality of Benzema. Even though they do play, different positions. I was trying to think of another guy, but I just, when I don't have someone, I just bring him up because it never fails to make us seems to amaze us, at the disparity between, Pulisic and just guys who in world football who are just doing amazing things and have amazing accomplishments next to their name. And we, Pulisic is just an easy target. Let's not be honest. Let's be honest. Sorry.
Even though he's a great player, but yeah.
Look, I'm not saying he's like by any means like, I mean, you play for Chelsea, you must be doing something right? And when he does play for US, he does like impose himself on the game and knows he is the best player on the team, and it plays like that. Which is
he's
good.
by far the most important player.
But yeah, that was just a few older guys. There's probably plenty more out there. Another one that I did want to throw up was Didier Drogba. If anyone doesn't know who Didier Drogba is, I'll throw that name out there. I think he's got a rookie sticker. I'll show you guys just quickly. We won't talk about it too much, but he is another one that, in my opinion, is just severely undervalued. His rookie card is severely undervalued for what he has achieved in the sport. We'll bring it up quickly, and then we'll wrap this one up. We get just ticked over the hour. There it is. There, it's this sticker.
Yeah, that's the one.
Out of 2002, 2003 Panini stickers. Was playing for, I think, Gungip. I don't know how to say that. I'm terrible at pronouncing French football teams.
Guinea, I think it is.
There you go. Just leave it to the expert, the man that actually speaks French. He knows how to say it. But yeah, look, we'll just go here. PSA 7 sold for 187, PSA 8 550, PSA 9 855. I'm guessing if there's a PSA 10 around, I'm not sure if there has been PSA 10s. Let's see if there has been.
I'm not sure.
We've got this. No, I can't see the but I always like to select SGC because SGC's pretty...
$7.5, $12.5.
$12. That was back in 2018. So you're going to be buying them back in 2018 for peanuts. But yeah, look, I just think that's another one. Ladies and gentlemen, go have a look at his resume. Go just see like what he's done in world football. He's only got one. You know, it makes it easy with these guys. Like, and we bring up these older generation because they've only got one sticker, or maybe a sticker and a card, or maybe a sticker and 2 cards. You know, it doesn't go out of the realms of more than 3 things that you can collect of them. That's it, right? You know, we're compared to these new age where it's just ridiculous amounts. You got to make sure you're getting a numbered card, or make sure you're getting a short print and auto or something like that. You know, that's the stuff that if they do make it big, it's going to move big, and if you want to sell it, your collection's going to be worth more. With these other guys, that's all there is. So, you know, the fact that that's how cheap it is just, you know, we see now some of the vintage prices that's going on in soccer, you know, for things like, you know, some Maradona stuff and, you know, other names as well. You could throw out there Cruyff and vintage, real older guys. Maybe that happens to these in the future. And if you are buying them now where they're pretty cheap, what I would say relatively cheap to what the modern guys are going for, it's something you want to hold into your collection.
Couldn't agree more, man.
Maybe you might be getting record prices on gold in one day. I don't know.
you get featured on their Instagram page. Who knows?
Hopefully by that time their buyer's premium's not 20% anymore, and they have to be a bit more competitive.
Yeah, true. But still, if you want to get the top dollar, that's where you get it.
Yeah, that's where you get it. I'm not going to lie. But they do need to watch out for MySlabs. I'm just going to give a quick shout out. MySlabs, 1% selling fee, and are going 5% on high-end items. So they're really trying to shake up the market. Credit to them.
Go MySlabs.
Go MySlabs. Credit where credit is due. Thank you, sir, for jumping on. This was a late one, but I mean, I'm not like I have to get up early tomorrow at all.
There we go.
Public holiday here, so we're rolling along.
Same here.
Next week, we'll see if we can get another episode around with a few of the other boys involved. Thank you very much for jumping on and being a part of it, and thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been another episode of Soccer Card Collective. I'm your boy Saucy with Vincent. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Soccer Card Collective on the Double Coverage Media Network. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to know when we go live. Also, feel free to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.